Ministry of Education to partner with Standard Voice Television in the promotion of education in Zamfara State. Zamfara women doctors call for 2 weeks curfew to curb the spread of coronavirus. Nigeria reports 64 new cases of COVID-19, total infections now 1,337. Business: how Nigeria can mitigate impact of COVID-19 on economy by NEPAD boss. On sports, UEFA wants plan for league outcomes by May 25th. And on the international scene, France to review how COVID-19 lockdown will be eased. Hello viewers, welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. The Ministry of Education is to partner with the Standard Voice Television Svtv to promote education in Zamfara State. This assurance was given yesterday by the Commissioner in charge of the Ministry, Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi Kuso, when he visited the television station for a discussion program Galatasaray. The Commissioner said he had a series of programs in the pipeline aimed at promoting education in the state and promised to always be inviting the Standard Voice Television while unfolding the programs. Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi Gusso pledged the ministry's continued assistance to the television station to enable its growth to reach an appreciable height. Earlier, the head of news and deputy chairman of the station, Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatunau Matawale Mafara, pledged the station residents to partner with the administration of Dr. Bello Matawale Maradun to move the state to the next level of development. Alhaji Ibrahim Garubatunau assured that the TV station is ready to cooperate with any government agency and individuals that have the zeal to bring development to Zamfara State. He commended the governor for his peace initiatives in the state. As Zamfara State recorded 2 index cases, the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Zamfara State chapter, has called on Governor Bello Matawale Maradun to declare 2 weeks curfew to lock down the state to prevent coronavirus spread in the state. A statement signed by the President M1 Zamfara State, Dr. Fatima Abdul Qadri, said the action will go a long way in stopping the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in Zamfara State. She said the state government should declare the curfew with a view of shutting down the state for a minimum of 14 days for effective prevention of possible community transmission of COVID-19 in Zamfara State. The M1 President commended the state government, Ministry of Health and heads of hospital institutions for the efforts they are making towards curbing the spread of coronavirus. The President called on the state government to continue to involve stakeholders for health in decision-making in order to come up with an all-encompassing effective strategy to curb COVID-19. Dr. Fatima advocated that laboratories in tertiary health facilities be upgraded to carry out COVID-19 testing, and also called on the state government to ensure that all health facilities are well equipped and staffed, especially at the designated isolation centers. Members of the National Assembly have resumed plenary after about 5 weeks of recess over the coronavirus pandemic. The lawmakers in the State and House of Representatives chambers returned to the Assembly complex in Abuja on Tuesday after they went on break as part of measures to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the country. In the upper house, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan led the lawmakers into the chamber, after which plenary started at about 10:30 a.m. as soon as the lawmakers were seated. Amid the rising cases of COVID-19 in the country, the senators were asked to maintain social distance inside the chamber by giving a space of 2 seats between themselves. Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi has directed the salaries of all political appointees in the state be slashed by 50% with immediate effect. The Commissioner for Information and Values Orientation in the state, Mr. Muyuwa, confirmed this in a statement forwarded to Channels Television. He explained that the pay cut would affect the governor himself the Deputy Governor, the Commissioners, and all political appointees down the line. Cross River State Government has received purchasing orders from the Government of Lagos, Kano State to supply nose masks. Governor Ben Ayade disclosed this on Monday while inspecting the production of masks at the state garment factory in Calabar. While Lagos requested for 1 million pieces, Kano demanded for another 100,000 pieces to help contain the spread of the virus. The governor noted that the garment factories were positioned to supply cloth masks of global standard to all states in the country, even as he seeks nationwide patronage. Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security, Mr. Samuel Arwan, addresses journalists during the arrest of 100 persons hid in trucks passengers at Sabongida village, a border between Kaduna and Kano State. Kaduna State has temporarily closed its borders with Kano and Katsina State as part of measures to contain the interstate transmission of COVID-19. The closure, which begins with immediate effect, only allowed goods, medical equipment, and in some cases people deemed to be necessary to the effort to manage the coronavirus spread. The COVID-19 Security Task Force also intercepted over 100 people hidden inside a truck coming from Kano and several other smuggled from Lagos by a trailer conveying goods to Kano State. Alright, we are still going to short commercial break, and when we come back, you will hear that Nigeria has recorded 94 new cases of COVID-19, totaling now 1,337. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Part of a graphic created by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) on April 27, 2020, announcing a rise in COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Nigeria on Monday recorded 64 new cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing the country's total infections to 1,337, according to the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. According to the NCDC in a tweet via its official handle, 34 of the new infections were recorded in Lagos, 15 in the FCT, 11 in Borno, and 2 each in Taraba and Gombe State. The country's total deaths from the virus still stand at 40, while 255 has been discharged. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has explained why it treated Nigeria desperately looking for extraction kits. Dr. Chikwe Ihekwezu, Director General of NCDC, said on Monday that he made a request to prevent shutting down of a network of 15 laboratories currently testing for COVID-19 in Nigeria. Dr. Chikwe Ihekwezu made the explanation at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. The alarming rate of mysterious death in the ancient city of Kano State has claimed another victim. Dr. Gali Umar of the Department of Architecture of the Kano State University of Science and Technology died on Monday following fires in the city. Vice Chancellor of the institution, Professor Shehu Musa, in a statement said they regret to announce the death of architecture Dr. Gali Kabir Umar of the Department of Architecture. Dr. Gali, until his death, was the head of the department and a senior lecturer in the Department of Architecture, Kano University of Science and Technology, Uduli. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday ordered phased and gradual relaxation of the lockdown order on Lagos, Federal Capital Territory and Ogun State to curtail the spread of the COVID-19. The president, in a broadcast to the nation, followed the socio-economic impact of the lockdown on Nigerians. He, however, said a relaxation of the lockdown will take effect from Monday, May 4th. Meanwhile, the president ordered total lockdown of Kano State for 2 weeks, saying the measure was to enable the federal government contain the COVID-19 pandemic in the state. The First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, on Monday donated personal protective equipment, medical consumables, and assorted food items to Kano State. She presented the items to the state government through her special advisor on administration, Hadi Uba. The ESA said the items were meant for about 500,000 households across the state to cushion the effect of the lockdown in the fight against COVID-19 spread. Mr. Oba said 16 trailer loads of assorted food items, including rice, spaghetti, flour, cooking oil, and milk, could be distributed in collaboration with the state government to the needy. Mr. Olusegun Abimbola, the immediate past Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Oyo State, says deliberate concealment of cases of infectious diseases from relevant authorities is liable to prosecution. Mr. Abimbola made this known while speaking with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Ibadan on Tuesday. He said such an instance, if proven, would be an offense contrary to the Public Health Chapter 135 laws of Oyo State 2000. According to him, the laws on notifiable infectious disease provide, amongst other things, that you are under legal obligation to notify appropriate authorities if you notice your cohabitant is suffering from an infectious disease. The Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Olufemi Okeosaintulu, on Tuesday said the fire outbreak at Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation filling station Ifako Ajayi, Lagos has destroyed 30 vehicles. The filling station is located at Yaya Batan bus stop off College Road, Ifako Ajayi local government area of Lagos State. Mr. Okeosaintulu said this in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria in Lagos. According to him, a tanker with 33,000 liters of diesel catches fire while discharging its content into an underground tank at the NNPC filling station. Alright, we are still going to short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
That you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080-6303-5385. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, Seoul, Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back. Let me quickly take you to our business desk with Jemima Samuel.
Welcome to Business Desk. The National Coordinator, African Union Development Agency, New Partnership for Africa's Development, Africa Peer Review Mechanism, Nigeria, Princess Gloria Akumbondu has suggested ways the country could mitigate the impact of coronavirus pandemic on the economy. Princess Akumbondu says strategic partnership with the private sector with focus on grassroots challenges could provide lasting solutions to COVID-19 and other national challenges. Princess Akumbondu said despite current lockdown and other restrictions, The challenge of how to overcome the pandemic and cushion its effects should not be lost on the nation. According to her, there is need to bottom-top the approach in strategic partnership focusing on grassroots challenges to get lasting solutions to COVID-19 and other national challenges. She says self-sufficiency in food production is a success for a nation of over 200 million population, but the nation cannot afford to rest on its oars. She recommended a deliberate adoption of the public-private partnership (PPP) in areas of skill acquisition program and education. Creation of more technology hub with basic amenities can also be another means of channeling the youth energies towards national development, which leads to global prominence. Princess Akubondu said, given the abundance of resources, Nigeria should not be affected by the recent prediction of World Bank to the effect that Africa would experience between -2.5% to -5.1% recession at the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I am Jemima Samuel. Thanks for watching.
And on sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I am Abu Sufyan Abubakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. UEFA has requested all top European leagues to be in a position to communicate their plans to finish the 2019-2020 season by the 25th of May. The deadline was set as part of governing bodies' guidelines on eligibility principles for the 2020-2021 season UEFA Cup competitions. Following a meeting last week, UEFA suggested that all leagues on hold should be continued where possible, and where resumption is not feasible, National Association could decide places for next season's continental competitions based on sporting merits. The Bundesliga have returned training and could be back on pitch from 9th May, while Serie A teams are expected to be able to practice together the following week. The situation remains unclear in England, France and Spain. In Netherlands, Eredivisie has announced cancellation of the 2019-2020 season last week after professional sports were banned in the country until 1st September. No champions were declared and there was no promotion or relegation, with European qualification determined by the table when the league was suspended. KNVB Baker finalists FC Utrecht consequently missed out on a place in the Europa League qualifiers and stated their intention to legally challenge the ruling. Just before the outbreak in England, Liverpool lead the log with 25 points ahead of second place Manchester City in a bid to win their first league title for over 30 years. While in Spain, record La Liga champions Barcelona are a point ahead of arch-rivals Real Madrid. And in Germany, Bayern Munich are 4 points clear of the table, with second place Borussia Dortmund 4 points behind Bayern Munich. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene, France will on Tuesday review how it plans on May 11th to lift its 6-week-old lockdown to combat the coronavirus, with cafes set to stay shut but schools controversially being allowed to reopen. Prime Minister Edward Philippe will unveil the measures in an address to Parliament from 1,300 GMT, where the government is seeking to tread a fine course between the need to kickstart the economy out of crisis while preserving public health. His announcement will be followed by a debate and a vote, with just 75 of the 577 deputies allowed into the National Assembly in order to respect social distancing, with all others will vote by proxy. President Emmanuel Macron announced earlier this month that the lockdown would be lifted from May 11th, but he left the detail relatively vague. Along with Britain, Italy and Spain, France has been one of the European countries worst hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, with the latest death toll standing at 23,293. But more encouraging signs have emerged in recent days, with the numbers of patients in intensive care and a hospital falling steadily. The government has warned that France faces a historic contraction of 8% in their growth this year, while March unemployment registered a record of 7.1% rise. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Ministry of Education to partner with Standard Voice Television in the promotion of education in the state. Zamfara women doctors call for 2 weeks curfew to curb the spread of coronavirus. Nigeria reports 64 new cases of COVID-19. Total infections now 1,337. On business, how Nigeria can mitigate impact of COVID-19 on economy by NEPAD boss. On sports, UEFA wants plans for league outcomes by May 25th. And on the international scene, France to reveal how COVID-19 lockdown will be eased. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garobachinel. I still remain Musa Joy Uniola. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.